Thank you for buying the GOFermentor Jr, the easiest way to make wine at home using real grapes. First, let's unpack all the components and show you what you have. Everything comes packed in this big blue drum. Open the clamp and take off the lid. Next, you have the electronic controller that handles the punching and press operations. A stainless steel tube that's used for sampling and press. A hose to connect all the bladders so they can be pressurized. A harvest tube to collect your pressed wine. Some accessories, a clamp, a gasket, and a pressure relief valve. Next, we have the rubber bladders that are used to punch and press. Then the fermentation bag itself, where the fermentation is performed. These are only single use. And then the sampler, and this is an optional item. Setting up the GOFermentor Jr is very simple. You start by placing the rubber bladders into the plastic drum. Notice that the tight end goes down first, and then you take the port on each bladder and push it to the corresponding hole in the drum. Just like this. Push it in, lock it out. Do the same thing for the second and third bladder. This ports will hold the bladder in position. Next, we're going to take the manifold tubing and attach it to the bladders. So take it around the drum and push the port into each of the bladders. Next, you're going to take your fermentation bag, open it up, and you'll notice that one end is open. The open end should face up. Take the bag, push it into the drum between the bladders, take the open end, spread it out, and push it over the edges. So you have a nice, easy way to fill your GOFermentor. Next, we're going to fill the GOFermentor Jr with grapes. Typically 100 to 110 pounds of wine grapes. You can put them in whole cluster, you can put them in destemmed, you can put them in crushed. Fill the fermenter like this. Now, look at the accessories. You have a pressure relief valve, a clamp port, a hose clamp, a gasket, and a tri-clamp. And we'll see how these are used. First of all, gather the edges of the bag together and fold them together and twist it, closing the bag off. Now you're going to want to get a pretty tight seal here, so grab it firmly and twist it firmly. Then take the hose clamp that came with the kit and put it around that twisted section. Use a screwdriver or a ratchet wrench to really tighten that hose clamp. You don't want this to leak during the fermentation. Take a piece of duct tape and put it over the hose clamp to protect the bag. Now, flip the bag around a bit till you can tug the cap out. You'll notice there's a 2-inch port on the bag, and that should now face upwards like this. Everything from now on will be done through this opening at the top, the port. Push the lid back on, and now use the clamp to secure the lid on firmly. It's very important that this clamp be on securely because once the system pressurizes, it will try to push the lid open. The tab locks from top to bottom. It's very important that it be securely locked in position. Now we're going to secure the port to the lid so the bag doesn't fall inside. Take the port clamp, put the U section around the clamp and tighten it with the 2 nuts. Make it firm enough so the port does not move up or down. Now at this point you would add your yeast and nutrients and so on, and when you're all done you want to put in the sampling tube. The sampling tube, connect the pressure relief valve as shown. This allows the CO2 to escape during the fermentation. Take the tri-clamp gasket, put that on the port, then insert the tube all the way down into the must. Now use the tri-clamp that came with it to secure these 2 components together. Make sure they're aligned and tighten the nut carefully. One of the unique features of the GOFermentor Jr is the punch mechanism. We take the manifold from the bladders and we connect it to the controller, then you go to it and press start in the punch operation. This causes the bladders to inflate, and in this animation you can see how it squeezes the must, crushing the cap and pushing the wine upwards. Then when they deflate, the cap breaks apart and is dispersed. This can be said to be done automatically every few hours. Now you should also sample your fermenter at least once a day. You can use the sampler to draw up a sample by just plugging it on the top. Then just unscrew the bottle and take your sample. Pressing is the best part because your wine is done. So you take the pressure relief valve off that you use in fermentation for gas, and you screw on the harvest tubing that came with the kit. The wine will be pressed out of the bag through this tubing into whatever collection vessel you have. It could be a jar, it could be a carboy, it could be a bag. Secure this tubing on with a wrench, and you're ready to go. Now go and select the press operation, hit start. It'll ask you to verify that the lid is clamped, say yes, and the bladders will inflate. The animation shows you what's happening. As the bladders push onto the wine, it's forced through that perforated tube, and the clean wine flows out into your collection vessel. What's left behind is the pumice, the seeds and skins that are just thrown away. So at the end of it, take out the tube, take out the bag, throw it away. So there you see the press in action. The bladders are pushing out the wine, and your delicious wine that you made at home all by yourself from real grapes is just pouring out into this beautiful container. And within minutes, you'll be able to drink the fruits of your labor. 6 months later, your friends will be amazed at what you've done. Look at that, no mess at all. I hope you enjoy making wine in the GOFermentor Jr. as much as we do. Thank you.